In the book of Lamentations, the writer describes the sorrow of the people of Israel who have been taken captive by the Babylonians during the Babylonian exile. It's a great time of uncertainty and fear, and the writer reflects on the past as a means of looking into the future with hope. He describes how there is strength for this present situation. Even more, he finds a confidence for the bright future. As a people of faith in God revealed in Jesus Christ, we continually recollect God's work in the past of sending Jesus to reveal God's nature. As God liberated the Israelites from Babylonian captivity, so God frees humanity from captivity to sin and death. This is the same God who through Jesus Christ declares, "I am with you always, even unto the end of the age."
This year, the world has been held captive by a different kind of oppressor, a worldwide pandemic. Like our ancestors of faith whose days were filled with uncertainty and lamenting, this invisible force has filled our days with uncertainty and lamenting. But like the writer of Lamentations, we confess a faith anchored in God's saving work in Jesus Christ, which grants us strength for today and bright hope for tomorrow.
Yes, it is this anchoring truth that comes to us from Lamentations chapter 3, verses 22 and 23. And is the inspiration for the classic hymn you all know, "Great is Thy Faithfulness," where in the third verse we sing, "Strength for today and bright hope for tomorrow, blessings all mine with 10,000 beside." In this video, you will hear church members share how they have found strength through our church's ministry and mission. You'll hear inspiring ways that they have found bright hope for tomorrow. And so it is our hope that you are inspired by what they share.
I think that one of the positive things that the pandemic has brought to Tuckahoe is it has pushed us into the online broadcast world. And I really think with my own son going away to college for the first time, it's going to allow young people to maybe tune in if they're feeling homesick or just need that sense of belonging that Tuckahoe always provided them. So I'm excited about that. I'm cautiously optimistic that people won't rely on that too much and will continue to come back to church as soon as we're able to in a safer environment. But I think that's one of the positive things that this church has been able to do.
Tuckahoe's had so many things in place. Things like Breeze, for example. Care share groups, ministers who are absolutely well-versed in technology, members who have stepped up with this technological need, and people who've been willing to learn how to use it. It's really helped. I haven't felt alone. I have felt God's presence, and I think that's part of being a church community.
I would hate to think what this situation we're in at this time would have been like without the technology that we have today, and without Sarah and Patrick, who know how to use that technology and how to provide a worship service for us when we can't come here. And I really miss sitting in the seats every Sunday, but I am grateful that we can see some of the things that are going on here.
I appreciate what Tuckahoe's done for my family, what they just do to any family. It's whether it's a meal, whether it's a text, phone call, whether it's good days or bad days, we celebrate everything. Weddings, births. Then when things, don't go our way, we're there. We're there. It's just that big old hug. That's what we can give each other, even in the virtual world.
Within the church, we have tried to answer some of these needs. We have been collecting food for Feed More. We have provided monthly meals to Home Again, to Housing Families First, and to Liberation Veterans Services.
So for me personally, outreach is more through action, and it's a great way to combat all the negativity in the world. When people see positive things going on, and when we were able to do the after church fellowships, that was one of the best times where people really got to see the warmth of this congregation. So you didn't realize you were doing outreach, but those 5-10 minute conversations with the cupcake coming out of your mouth, that enabled people to really see what Tuckahoe was all about, not only here in Richmond, but beyond.
I'd like us to do whatever we can do to bring peace to the Richmond area community, to learn what's inside us that we didn't know existed. I've always thought I wasn't at all biased or prejudiced. But there's so many things I'm learning through the 21-day challenge we did, through reading the book of Matthew even. I mean, Jesus lived in a time like this, and so do we. And as a church, I'd like to see us work hard at figuring out what we can do in this time and in this place, not in this building, but in this community, to bring about equity and just love.
This church has just always been so inviting, so welcoming. And I think through your all's ministry, it's able to continue, even in the virtual world. Just the warmth and just church family. I mean, it's kind of a cliche, but Tuckahoe's got it.
And I think we need to look down the road and realize that even if we may be in what we consider a normal situation next year, this time, we still are going to be facing issues that we have not faced before. So we need to be looking at the future, doing the best that we can do to prepare for that. When I think about what we do, I always think back to an instruction that I was given once about pruning my rose bushes. The advice was, cut out those branches that are growing inward, encourage outward growth. And I think this is something that is true for the church. The more we think outwardly, the more it helps us to grow inwardly, or I should say inside. But the one thing we need to remember, I think most of all, is we need to have faith that we can do what we want to do. And through prayer and our faith, relying on our faith, we become hopeful and we realize that we can do what we need to do. And we all need to step up and hit this in a bigger way, whether it comes to giving of ourselves through volunteering or giving of our money. What's coming is probably going to be needing more attention in all of those areas than we have needed in the past.
That's what I would say. Bring your children, come to Bible school, teach, usher, sing, whatever you can do to share in Tuckahoe's community, and stick with it.
We hope you have enjoyed hearing about how God has encouraged and strengthened the faith of our members in this time. We ask that you prayerfully consider how God is calling you to further the ministry and mission of Tuckahoe Presbyterian Church. You will have received a letter from the Stewardship Committee as well as a pledge card. In light of our current world situation, we are asking that you consider maintaining whatever level of giving you were able to do this year. If you have it within your means to increase your giving, we would be grateful.
Also, we know that giving is more than about just money. It's also about giving from your time and giving of your abilities. If you'd like to learn more about how to get involved with any of the ministries or mission that you heard about in this video or in any other way, please be in contact with Sarah or me, as we would love to connect you. And so may God bless you all in this coming year. And may you always remember that together we are the body of Christ, called by God to be the heart, voice, hands, and feet of Christ, where the Spirit leads us.